Warning, you need to splatter-proof your painting area for this idea, but it is still such a fun fall painting. Take your mop brush and do a dark background. I'm using navy blue and black and just doing simple back and forth strokes over my entire canvas. Dry it, and then I cleaned off my mop brush and took green with some white in it so it would stand out, and do back and forth strokes at the bottom for some ground. See how I have it swooping a little bit? Now, taking an old credit card, you could use any piece of plastic or even a palette knife for this, but I'm going to dip the side into some white paint and do a swoop where I want a tree to be. You can also do the other side to complete the trunk and make it as tall as you want. This is going to give a really neat white birch effect. You can also add the start to a couple tree branches coming off, but I am taking a detail brush then, and I'm going to do some simple branches. Don't worry about adding too much detail to these branches though, because in the end, the leaves are going to cover the majority of them. When the tree is dry, add a little bit of black to your credit card and do another swooping motion over top of the white. Isn't that such a pretty texture? Now it looks like white birch in the dark. Maybe I'm going to add a little bit of that texture to the start of my branches. Again, you don't have to do all the way out to the ends because the leaves are going to cover most of them. And while we have the black and white together, I'm going to use a large Pouncer sponge and just press down and twist. There's a moon. Perfect. Now here's where the messy part comes in. Lay your painting flat and grab a stiff bristle brush. I'm using a stippling brush, but you could also use a toothbrush. I didn't have any old toothbrushes I wanted to get dirty, so I'm using this one. Take your favorite fall colors and just use your finger to spritz it onto the canvas. You're gonna have more of a splat effect if you get close up to your canvas. And don't worry if you get big globs, because that adds to the texture. Really layer it on. I like to start with my darkest colors first, like red and orange, and then I like to go in and add yellow over top because that makes everything pop. Don't forget to splatterproof your area. I already have splats all over my wall right now, so I'm gonna have to paint over that later. Don't forget some leaves at the bottom where they fell, and you can use your detail brush when it dries to fix everything up. It usually dries overnight when you use acrylic craft paint, so here's my finished one here. This is such an easy concept. I can't wait to see if you try it out. What's your favorite fall color combination? Let me know in the comments. Here's a close-up of all of my splatter. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you want to see more, don't forget to follow me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok.